Steph Curry has been in Human Torch mode since the season tipped off, leading his team to an historic start with a deft display of basketball ballet. Paul George has come back from a gruesome leg injury with a fierce determination to prove that he and his team are among the NBA's elite. It's a showdown in the heartland right now. Stop 5 on the Warrior road trip in a place where they love basketball. Back home again in Indiana, the Warriors taking on the Pacers, where they packed the place to see the MVP, the league's leading scorer at 32 a game. But PG-13, Paul George, healthy and ready to roll. 48 in his last game, third leading scorer in the NBA, trying to end the perfect season tonight. Hello, everybody. Bob Fitzgerald alongside Jim Barnett, and it's got a playoff atmosphere. There's no way around it. These are two of the top 5 scoring teams, the 2 best three-point shooting teams. Indiana has been pointing to this game.
Both teams know what's on the line. The Warriors, though, they accept it. They came here for one reason, and that's to win another basketball game.
If you look at the Warriors past the quarter pole, so many things they do really, really well. They're the best shooting team, the highest scoring team. They pass the ball the best. They hit threes. The weaknesses, Jim, free throws and turnovers, that would cost you tonight.
Well, they've been very consistent with shooting on offense, moving the basketball around. But that has been a problem, and particularly turnovers. They got to avoid that against this team tonight. This is an experienced, very, very deep team.
Channel the first quarter against Brooklyn. Really the best the Warriors have played all year. 30-16, a perfect 12 minutes. Defense, offense, unselfishness, the Warriors at their best.
Well, this was a clinic. 30-16, a big lead like that because they move without the ball. When you overplay, they go back door. It opens up three-point shots. Fast breaks, you get a trailer, you get a lot of layups. They were just brilliant.
Don't ever leave Steph Curry. The ball moves, and when he's open, you're in trouble.
Well, when you move the ball like that, you're going to find a lot of openings. The first 4 games on this road trip, this team has relied on Steph Curry to bail them out, and he has succeeded each and every time, all 4 games. But you got to get away from that. You've got to have consistent basketball through 4 quarters. Bob, you do not want to get down and be behind by 12 in the 4th quarter and expect him to bail you out every time.
You need superstars to close out games. Both teams have one. If this goes down to the wire, it will be Steph Curry with the ball in his hands. But Indiana has a capable closer in Paul George. 2 of the top 5 players on both ends of the court. The Warriors Pacers, 22 in a row on the line. Greg and the guys back in the studio right after this.
Well, a win tonight, and they tie the champion Miami Heat from the 2012-2013 season with a 27-game winning streak. St. Leonardi, how do they get 23-0, St.?
Well, a lot of nights we talk about the first team to 100 wins. 93% of the time, if you hit that 100, you're going to win. Tonight, I'm raising the bar. You got to get to 115. But you have to not do what Monty's key is.
Yeah, we know we've seen the Warriors over the course of this season get sloppy, and they have times where they just turn over the ball a lot. They can't do it against this team. If they turn over the ball, they will be punished.
All right, great scene inside.
Beautiful.
Bankers Life Fieldhouse. C.J. Miles, don't let him shoot threes. Enjoy the game. It's next.
Time for tip-off. Here's Fitz and JB.
Draymond Green bringing us into Indiana in really one of the most enjoyable buildings in the league, other than Oracle. This may be my favorite. It's built in that Fieldhouse style. The sightlines are terrific. It's packed tonight. And an old friend ready to roll in Monte Ellis with Paul George, George Hill, Rodney Stuckey, and a Pacer squad that has not lost at home since Halloween. The Warriors are the show in the NBA. And stop 5 on this 7-game, 2-week road trip for Steph Curry and the guys.
Well, you look at Indiana. They lost their last 2 games on the road. Otherwise, they'd be coming in here with an 8-game winning streak. It would be terrific. 22-0 and 8 straight for them.
Xfinity starting lineup: Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Brandon Rush, Draymond and Bogut, George Hill, Monte Ellis, C.J. Miles, Paul George, and Ian Mahinmi. for Frank Vogel's squad. The two best three-point shooting teams, two of the top 5 scoring teams, and two of the top 3 scorers in the NBA.
It's going to make for a very different night on the road. You just hope the Warriors are on their three-point shooting night because they're going to need it. You don't want one of those games like Sacramento where you were 9 of 39. And both teams go 11 deep, and both of them have a half a dozen 40% or better three-point shooters.
Indiana leads the league in steals as Steph Curry misses the 3. And Indiana, #1 in points off turnovers, 17 a game. Paul George offline. So George Hill opens on Steph Curry. Shot clock at 5. Draymond springs free and misses the 3. Hill speed dribbling all the way and then finding George, who follows his own miss.
Now, just because you're a good three-point shooting team doesn't mean you try to make all your shots from three-point range. You've got to take it inside sometime.
C.J. Miles will draw the foul. And this is exactly what they're talking about, players jumping into defenders. But when you leave your feet, you put yourself in jeopardy.
Yes, C.J. Miles probably initiated the contact, but Klay Thompson, by him leaving his feet, just led everything to get him to the free throw line.
C.J. Miles having the best season of his career. A former high schooler from Skyline, Texas, averaging nearly 16 a game. And Frank Vogel and Larry Bird changed the way Indiana played. No Roy Hibbert, no David West, no Luis Scola. Go up and down and play skill ball, and it's had very good effect for Indiana in the Eastern Conference.
They've certainly gotten smaller. Makes them play better perimeter defense.
Steph Curry, beautiful finish off the Bogut feed. He never came back down.
Well, we showed you that before the game as Miles takes his shot. But when people overplay you, make them pay the price. You go back door.
Brandon Rush a deep 2. That's a good sign.
But they could use his little input tonight. He's in with his starting 5, and that's a big responsibility for him, and he owes it. A little better ball movement from Indiana now.
Yeah.
That's what you're talking about.
George Hill dropping in the jumper. George Hill involved in that Kawhi Leonard trade a couple of years ago. Very solid player. And the foul before the shot. Luke Walton says, are we sure there wasn't any continuation on that? Jason Phillips going to go talk to J.T. Orr. You could read Luke's lips and words there. He said never dribbled again. That's what continuation is. Knocked out of bounds, still Warrior ball. Draymond got stuffed by the backboard a little bit.
They just got too far under. Didn't have an angle to take the shot. He was going out of bounds with the ball, evidently, so he tried to get it up, and he feels he was pushed. That's a big load for Klay Thompson.
Mahinmi off the Paul George delivery.
And that's what dribble penetration does. Just 1 or 2 dribbles like that got Andrew Bogut to lean to try to give help on George, and it opened up for Mahinmi.
Bogut slicing nicely, and Curry found him.
I'd like to see him be a little more aggressive with trying to score around the basket.
Mahinmi.
Well, there's no reason to come out on Mahinmi. He's not a perimeter shooter.
Steph Curry step back. Paul George the rebound. Thing you see with Indiana, they're pushing it every time. George three. An easy rebound for Klay Thompson.
Yeah, the game is starting right now a little differently for the Warriors. This will be the three-point play possibility. I just love delayed moves to the basket. Early offense, you don't really get a fast break, but you push the ball down the floor, and you get head turners defensively. And that's exactly what happened here. George Hill lost sight of Steph Curry, and he takes advantage.
Well, you said it right off the bat. Because you're a great three-point shooting team doesn't mean you have to shoot nothing but threes.
Exactly.
The Warriors opened 0 for 3 on threes, and they're overplaying Steph so much that he's getting layups right now, cutting without the ball. Monte Ellis, very tough runner. Bogut, good tip rebound to himself.
And he knows he's got to mix it up inside. They got his attention.
That is a good three. Thompson.
Those are the threes that you want. No one's on you. Not forced, catch and shoot. Your percentage goes way up. That's what looked like Thompson, and that's what he did against Brooklyn in that first quarter.
Pacers have opened 5 of 9. Warriors 5 of 10. Reach-in foul. And Draymond Green will be tagged with that one.
I just truly believe in not bailing out shooters. They don't give them free throws by reaching in like that. If they make that shot, they earned it. Then you figure out what's going on in the game and how to play them.
Paul George, 10th pick in 2010. That frightening broken leg playing for Team USA, but he is more than all the way back. Battling out that free throw. Tonight's game, all Warrior games on CSN, stream live with the NBC Sports Live Extra app. Stream the Warriors on the go wherever you are. You're there.
Yeah, that injury not only kept him out of all last year's games, they won 56 games in 2014. With Paul George out last year, they won 38. The year before, they were the #1 seed in the East at the completion of the regular season.
A lot of 30 jerseys, a lot of Paul George PG-13 jerseys. Klay Thompson, time to set his feet.
You can see there's going to be a lot of switching tonight.
George can't finish there. Klay Thompson has lasered a couple threes.
Everybody was back. He just stepped right into that because the defense gave ground, surprisingly.
Paul George from deep. He shoots it at 43%. Draymond's got George Hill on a mismatch. And he found Steph quickly, shot that three long. And here come the Pacers. George leaking out, and an easy one.
That's what an air ball will do, coming hard off that glass like that. In the early going, Steph is just rushing his outside shot a little bit. They're playing him well, but Vogel, the head coach for Indiana, said he's going to get his 30.
Shot clock at 4, and the Warriors turn it over. This is where Indiana's the best in the league. Monte to the running Mahinmi. Points off turnovers. And nobody back on defense.
Indiana had a 3-on-1. Monte smartly made it a 2-on-1, made the right pass, and then a breakdown. They allow the Warriors to score on an easy one.
Breakneck pace to this. Frank Vogel's going to use the timeout. 6:27 remaining in the first. We thought it would be a good one. Has not disappointed. Two high-powered teams going back and forth.
I'm Stephen Curry, and you're watching CSN, the authentic home of the champs.
Welcome back to Indiana. Warriors trail the Pacers by 4. Paul George is having a career season as he rebounds back from a severe leg injury. Well, Steph Curry was his teammate for USA Basketball, and he saw that injury happen in person, and he remembers the shock he felt and how everyone on the team embraced each other. Well, I asked him about his own rehab process. In 2011-2012, Steph missed 56 games due to an ankle injury, and at the time, he said he wasn't fathoming being an MVP one day. He was just trying to get back on the court. He said the rehab takes diligence, consistency, and perseverance to get through it. The mental fuels the physical.
Well, there's no doubt, Rods, between, as Miles misses that three, Bogut, Ezeli, Steph Curry, Livingston, Paul George. There's a lot of guys, Monte Ellis, that have had significant injuries, missed significant time, that have come all the way back to be quality players. And George knocking that away. Steph went behind the back. It's still Warrior ball with 8 to shoot.
Yeah, referring to Curry, that third year in the league, only played 26 games. This is a smart play. First of all, defensively by George, just sticking his hand out, just got a glimpse of the ball and couldn't quite control it to get a three from Klay.
Klay Thompson is foul shooting that three.
Well, you can see the respect that he gets. He gets their big center, Mahinmi, coming out, challenging that shot. Just a testament to Warriors setting good screens and making and forcing switches.
And it's Mahinmi's second foul. So Jordan Hill is going to get to the scorer's table. Klay Thompson has had big games against Indiana.
Well, he had 25 2 years ago in that win.
Yeah, the game winner 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was the game winner when he, at the end of the game. I'm trying to think. Last year, when the Warriors lost, he was pretty good with 39 when Steph Curry did not play.
Yeah, Paul George and Steph did not play in that game. Mahinmi checking out with the 2 fouls. Jordan Hill was a Laker a year ago.
And we might as well finish it, because in that game at home for Klay Thompson at Oracle Arena, he was pretty good last
40.
January.
I said he likes the Pacers. George Hill missing. Conversely, Steph Curry's 17 is his second lowest against any opponent. He said how he torched Charlotte and Toronto, but he doesn't score much against Indiana comparatively. Went right to Bogut. Warriors fortunate. Bogut again. What a rebound. He batted it out a couple times. Klay Thompson hits the three.
And you're right. He's torched this team the last couple of games, and that is in his brain. That is in his memory bank. He has been very aggressive offensively.
Klay's already got 12. An 8-0 Warrior run. And Jordan Hill will draw the foul. Andrew Bogut, when you offensive rebound and you have great hands as he does, okay, I can't quite grab it, but I know my guys are back there.
I just like his activity tonight. A little more aggressive than he was in Brooklyn. Now back, obviously, maybe feeling a little better, you would hope. Now this man at the line right here, he's been around. And one thing you have to do about him is you better block him off the boards. He is a great offensive rebounder as Rodney Stuckey comes in.
Jordan Hill is going to be remembered for one thing. He was drafted right after Steph Curry. Every time you go to New York, they're saying, you got our guy at 7.
I got it.
Steph the lob. Bogut guiding it in with the right hand.
Oh, was that a sweet assist. So soft. Got it up just quickly enough. Maybe not for the lob to dunk it down, but perfectly handled by Andrew Bogut. Put it right on the spot.
And how soft did Steph put that lob up there?
Couldn't be any better.
Monte Ellis off iron. Long rebound. And Curry can't quite collect it.
So that's Jordan Hill. And he got a hand on that. He's going to make it tough.
Bogut, Iguodala with Draymond Green. Steph and Klay. Paul George with Rodney Stuckey's first playing time. Jordan Hill, C.J. Miles, and Monte Ellis. Rodney Stuckey was the player that killed the Warriors a year ago. Without Steph playing, without Paul George playing, it was Stuckey who went for 30.
30 and only 17 shots in 28 minutes.
That's the thing about Indiana. Monte Ellis, Rodney Stuckey, C.J. Miles, Paul George, George Hill. They've got a lot of guys that can hurt you.
Yeah, a lot of people that can erupt. And from three-point range, which makes them doubly tough.
Want to make Steph play defense. And he knocked it away from Monte Ellis. The Warriors have had a couple turnovers that against Indiana, you want to run, but they're just losing the ball out of bounds.
That wasn't a forced turnover. They're very good at forcing turnovers. Stephen just took his eyes off the ball. He's looking ahead to see what was going to transpire there, and just ball scooted away. They did a good job making Ellis go left, though. He's not nearly as strong going left.
So you've seen Al and Steph force the turnover. On that switch, they're isolating Curry as a defender. First it was Monte, then it was Rodney Stuckey. They're going to make the MVP play defense in addition to all the offensive fireworks. Klay Thompson, nice step around. And Klay's rolling with 14.
Oh, he just owned that play. The defender's trading a little bit, overcommits. He had the live dribble. It proved valuable.
J. Miles missing the three.
Well, after the Warriors getting down here, they regained control here after being down by 7.
Lob to Bogut. He ran the post pattern. They found him nicely. So you forget about the big man, and the Warriors are going to make you pay. That's a nice awareness and adjustment. And so they've reeled off a 12-4 run to build the 8-point lead.
If you turn your head, you're vulnerable at the rim.
I love the screen by Klay Thompson.
Yep, back screen. They do that with Steph Curry on one side. Once in a while, they do that with Klay Thompson. Those people are such great shooters. Two defenders, even if it's not that great a screen, two defenders will often stay with the shooter, and that opens up for the lob.
I like that. I emptied my piggy bank. Well, based on what the tickets were selling for here in Indianapolis, you better have had a lot in that piggy bank. A ton of people wanted to be at this game.
Nice assist to turnover ratio. Despite the 2 turnovers, you got 9 assists.
But that's something we're going to monitor. You highlighted it. This is a team that has the most steals, that scores 17 points off turnovers. It's been a Warrior weakness with 24th in the league in turnovers committed. And tonight you can ill afford to be sloppy with the ball. While Paul George out of the timeout. And Andre played him well. Curry behind the back, finding Iguodala. Couldn't finish with bodies all around him. Steph Curry hits a three.
Well, by not taking it underneath, Iguodala had a chance, but he rotated back out and he found Stephen Curry for Stephen's most open three tonight. The best look he's had.
He continues that streak of 1 3 or more made. Second longest streak in NBA history. Ties the road streak with Rashard Lewis. That's where he wants Stuckey to live. He's not a tremendous perimeter shooter. Draymond Green three. Just off iron.
Oh, he was set up perfectly by Steph. Drawing 2 defenders.
This is what Stuckey does right there.
I'll tell you what, the Warriors are playing now like they played the first quarter in Brooklyn. You can just see it in their body language.
Curry pump fake. Curry in traffic. Dipsy-do. Now you see him. Now you don't.
Well, that's where you get someone to bite on the ball. You show him the ball, you get him to commit, and you go up and underneath that arm and his body.
Klay Thompson knocked it away. Bogut bothered Paul George. Here comes Monte. Jordan Hill, no.
And Bogut got him.
Curry spaces out his three. Yes, sir.
Now you're cooking. Now you've made a statement.
Indiana wants to get up and down.
But
okay.
Again, it starts with their defense, doesn't it? So often. Can't overemphasize that.
Whipping off. A huge run finally ended by the Paul George three.
He's got 11.
Klay Thompson three. 40-point quarter for the Dubs.
the bench celebrating. But you got to play, as we said before, you got to play the full 4 quarters.
Solomon Hill. Play recovers. Bogut, good switch out.
Oh, aggressive switch out. Moving and flashing extremely well.
1:09 remaining in the first. The Pacers are one of the beasts of the East. They may have brought out the Warrior A game. And the MVP, whether he shoots from 3, whether he plays Houdini in the lane, he can get you in a lot of different ways. Don't leave him open at the arc for the Warriors up 16. Warrior lead at 16 with a 22-0 run that grew to 25-3. Our Lexus pursuit of perfection, the best road starts in NBA history. It's the Warriors and Knicks winning their first 12 away from home. And the Warriors would like to add another streak and another record. Should mention Leandro Barbosa will not play tonight with a virus. And so you may see Ian Clark, Marshawn Livingston. Leandro would be perfect in this tempo type of game.
I'm going to tag that graphic we saw. All those teams won the championship that year. The Knicks did it in 70, 69-70, 12-game streak.
The air ball goes to the offense. Booker Barnett. Jordan Hill got a freebie there. And Iguodala serving it up with a right-hand spike. The Warriors up 16, and we check in with Roz.
In that last timeout, Luke Walton told the team, we're hitting good shots. We're going to keep getting open shots. But defensively, we turned it up. And that's the reason why we're up. Keep getting stops.
Holding Indiana to 42% shooting. Off iron there from Curry. And Solomon Hill sending Monte Ellis on his way.
Warriors had hit 4 of their last 5 threes. Defense there.
Iguodala knocked it away. Luke Walton says, let's play for 1. Tenths of a second difference. Game clock, shot clock, winding down a spectacular first quarter.
Well, this could be a potential 4-point swing to end the quarter, and they're going to play
foul
Ezeli. And lately, Ezeli's been going to the line, and he's making 1 out of 2. It just seems like miss his first, make the second. Make his first, miss the second.
Well, that's only the 4th Pacer team foul, so they got to foul him again if they want to do that.
Well, if you did it the first time, it makes no sense not to do it again, right?
Vogel says foul, foul, foul. I don't know why they're going to.
Well, they're taking the chance that he might make only 1 or he may miss both and then they'll get the last shot of the quarter. That's what they're looking for. Let's see if Festus can make them pay.
What's interesting is Livingston, he went to the line because Sean was fouled too. As they inbounded the ball to Livingston, he was fouled, and then off the ball, Ezeli was fouled.
Well, that's why Stephen Curry was so deliberate in throwing it in. He didn't rush it by throwing it in, but then all of a sudden the 5 count was going to come. He said, I better get the ball into the playing field.
And Festus said, thank you very much.
Rod Adams has been working with Festus and had breakfast with him today, and he was talking about his free throw shooting, and he's surprised he was even missing. He just think he's going to be very good before it's all said and done.
Won't be for lack of work.
How about that?
Ezeli hits them both. It equals the largest scoring quarter all year for the Warriors. They had 44 at Phoenix. And Steph Curry committing the foul. The Warriors had 1 to give there, but you don't want Steph picking up fouls if you can avoid it.
Well, it doesn't give them much time to work with 2.7. That's a plus.
It's Curry's first.
Make sure they keep the ball way out on the perimeter. It's going to go to George. You know if they can get it there.
Good switch on the out of bounds. Monte turns and fires. And the Warriors, I don't want to say couldn't have played any better, but when you finish on a 29-7 run, shoot it at 62%, limit the Pacers to 40% shooting, a ton of good things to begin. I'd say Indiana's got the Warriors' attention, and the best team in the NBA responded.
Andre Iguodala, and you're watching CSN, the authentic home of the NBA champs.
Warrior lead at 16. Bob Fitzgerald, Jim Barnett, Roz Gold on Wood A, and Klay Thompson. His 17 were instrumental in the beginning of the game. All that Curry attention. Worry about Curry. Worry about the MVP. Oh, yeah, your other all-star just got you for 17.
He knocked down 4 threes. Then Curry came back strongly the last half of that quarter. That's a tough shot. Good defense.
So Ezeli with Brandon Rush, Andre Iguodala. We mentioned Ian Clark would play instead of Barbosa. So Ian and Sean Livingston.
We might make note, as Livingston is going to get to the line, the starting front court for the Warriors combined for 30. The starting backcourt, did I say front court? I meant backcourt. That's Thompson Curry, 30. Starting backcourt for Indiana, 2.
Wow.
Monte Ellis did not score.
Shot it well, played that D, got the threes rolling, and we're watching it all night. Assists to turnovers. 12-2 is about basketball perfection right there.
And those 6 threes, courtesy of the Splash Brothers. Those 2 only.
So Lavoy Allen will check in. Solomon Hill, Lavoy Allen, Chase Budinger, along with Rodney Stuckey and George Hill.
They got Lavoy Allen when they let Danny Granger go. Number 50 pick back in 11.
He's actually a little like Mo Spates. He can hit mid-range jumpers.
There he is.
Rattled that one out, but that is his game.
This is the second unit. Let's see if they can continue to keep what the first unit did, going along with Andre Iguodala in the first quarter. No breakdown here. That's what happened in Brooklyn. They're trying to avoid that.
Livingston with the post. That mid-range jumper is sweet.
And George Hill came underneath him there, too. It's not an easy shot to complete, but for him, it's ordinary.
Stuckey sees a smaller Ian Clark, but Ian can move his feet.
Yes, he can. He can play defense.
Off the hands of Allen. Iguodala pushing behind the back. Andre to the rim to lay it in. He was shoved in the back and still made the basket.
Yeah, that's why it came off the back of the rim. What a play. What a play. And going behind the back in the middle of the lane.
Solomon Hill missing there. Lavoy Allen with the rebound.
You know what Budinger does.
Three-point shooter.
Yes.
Foul getting around that screen.
Defense to offense. Andre gets the steal. Goes around. George Hill with it behind the back. A little bit of a shove. Maybe he was slowing down to dunk that ball again. I don't know.
I think Lavoy Allen had that, I'm not even aware of my hand in your lower back, shoving him. Rodney Stuckey. Again, you want him to live out there.
Good block off by Ezeli. Just keep the ball moving with this group. Oh.
Brandon Rush. That's a silly turnover there.
He rarely goes to the middle thinking about trying to complete the driving layup. So he gets caught in between. So I make the pass, and he's not aggressive enough with the initial move. You get caught in between, then loses the handle on the ball.
No, I think Brandon with this is a play completer. Catch and shoot the ball, finish. The play initiators are going to be Ian Clark, Livingston, and Iguodala. Lavoy Allen, he's skilled offensively. I said play initiators, Ian Clark.
I'll tell you what, he plays with confidence. He's got guts. I love the way he handles things.
Festus protecting that rim. And Iguodala with the rebound. Ezeli saved a layup. Brandon Rush missing that flat. And out of bounds to Indiana.
Ezeli was bringing the ball back. That went off Indiana's hands.
For this second unit, as you say, Jim, part of carrying on for the starters is defense. And just keep playing the type of D. Only allowed 2 points in 3 minutes. Offense will come and go, but that's the Warriors' calling card, is to lock teams up.
Indiana's hit 4 of their last 21 shots, make it 5.
And an opportunity for a 4-point play.
But they had gone 4 of 21 since they started the first 5-6 minutes of the game when they were 8 of 13.
That's the third goal of the day. George Hill, the line to complete the end.
So George Hill from IUPUI, Indiana University, Purdue University at Indianapolis. That's a long acronym.
Wouldn't have recognized him this year. His hair got lighter.
Well, he became a huge Eminem fan in the offseason.
Okay. That makes sense to me. Just keep moving the ball.
Iguodala mid-range.
He knows with this group that he's got to put some points on the board. He's aware of that. And plus, right now, he's playing with supreme confidence.
3 of 3, 3 assists, 6 points. A double Stuckey after he lost the dribble. Boy Allen misfiring there. Rebound ricocheting out to Budinger. I think Indiana is shell-shocked here.
Absolutely.
And Hill, another 3. So George Hill keeping the Pacers afloat.
Yeah, it's been very quiet in here at Bankers Life Fieldhouse.
Just regathers. A baby hook. That was pretty smooth.
Very fluid. Very.
I think Ezeli played the best game of his career in Brooklyn. That's the best I've ever seen him play. He had the nice pass to Steph. He had the driving layup around Brook Lopez.
Driving left-handed. The layup wasn't close.
Blocking shots. He was rebounding. And a defensive 3-second violation will be a Pacer technical free throw. So 7:39 remaining in the first half. Andre Iguodala has been perfect. And the defense leading to offense. The Warriors up large. Our AT&T U-verse Rewind. We were discussing Klay Thompson's game winner 2 years ago. And the Warriors winning by 2. He backed down George Hill and then hit that shot. A rare win. The Warriors have lost 7 of 8 in this building. And in fact, the last 3 years, these are the only teams they have a losing record against on the road. Spurs still a house of horrors. OKC, I think the Laker thing will turn around pretty quickly.
I think so.
But the Pacers, Bulls, and Clippers, so you value playing well in venues that historically have been hostile.
They're going to look to be changing that over the next few years with this club. They stay intact, stay healthy. Ironically, they did win a game in San Antonio, but that was in the playoffs.
They're going to play the Spurs a couple times in the last week of the season. They're not going to see San Antonio until January. And we talked about Indiana. Halloween, their last home loss.
They lost to Memphis. And then they lost that one to Utah. They haven't lost since at home.
Roy Allen. That's what Rodney Stuckey does. He wants to penetrate all the time. That time the pocket pass yielded the bucket. Klay Thompson giving Iguodala a rest. Clark and Ezeli hammering it home.
How about this? He's catching it on the fly, and he's catching it behind his head. Well, that shows an improvement of the hands. Well, that's not an easy conversion.
How about the Bogut-Ezeli tandem tonight? The 2 of them have been tremendous at the center spot.
Ian Clark forcing baseline, still recovers.
Festus, the defense and the rebound. How would you assess the second unit?
Holding their own, and more so.
Festus off the Klay Thompson feed.
22-point lead, got down to 16. Now they've got it back up to 20. I'd say I'd give them more than a passing grade.
I'll tell you, Rodney Stuckey could play. It was a beautiful look to Budinger right there. Livingston.
See, you see how he likes that one little dribble before the shot because he's wide open, but he likes to get his rhythm. And he certainly got it there. He got 62 with 6 minutes left in the first half.
George Hill's terminated the dribble. Shot clock at 7. Hill losing the handle. It went right to Solomon Hill. Stuckey bailed him out. And he'll get to the line.
Boy, almost forced a turnover. And the ball goes right to the player in the corner.
5:50 remaining in the first half. The Warriors centers have been outstanding.
Welcome back to Indiana. Warriors up 20 on the Pacers. In tonight's Ford Right Choice, we take a look back at the summer when Sean Livingston took the championship Larry O'Brien Trophy back to his hometown of Peoria, Illinois, and his old high school, Peoria Central. Now, he toured around the school with his dad, Reggie, and his former coach, and showed the trophy off to all the students. But now, fast forward to tonight. The students are returning the favor. 50 kids and coaches from Peoria Central made the 210-mile road trip to Bankers Life Fieldhouse to support Sean. And get this, here's the best part. Sean has no idea that they were coming to this game. So it should be a pretty wonderful surprise post-game when he meets up with all the kids.
That's going to be very nice, but wait until he gets the bill for the tickets. That'll be the surprise. And these NBA players do buy a lot of tickets for friends, family, on the road, as well at home, and also support so many different groups at home. I love what Harrison Barnes, he's been supporting the Boys and Girls Club of Oakland for years, giving them tickets, a whole group, every game.
Rodney Stuckey, 15th pick in 07 out of Eastern Washington. Had some quality years in Detroit, but I think he was born to be a sixth man. I think he has found a home here in Indiana.
And he's still only 29 years of age.
Lob that Festus did well to come back and catch. Zealy on Mahimi. It's the first miss by either Festus or Bogut. Warrior centers have 14 and 7 already.
I like Zealy's play there because he didn't force it. He found a little rhythm. He took a good shot. Went back to the strong right hand.
You have to play Rodney Stuckey for the drive.
He can burn. He's a strong finisher. I didn't get the outside shot going too, but you're right about the drive.
Knocked away. Here comes Indiana, forcing turnovers. But the Warriors back nicely. Paul George, his three-point stroke is just something special to watch. And Luke Walton's going to use a very quick timeout. 7 unanswered by the Pacers, and making it a 13-point game. So 4:50 remaining in the half. Don't forget about the Pacer firepower.
I'm Klay Thompson, and you're watching CSN, the authentic home of the champs.
The 3 Hall of Famers in Pacer history. Mel Daniels, unfortunately passing in October, our McDonald's true story. He really was an Indiana legend. The Pacers, one of the teams coming from the ABA to the NBA. And you think of Roger Brown and George McGinnis, Mel Daniels. This was some great basketball here in the heartland.
And that's why they won so many ABA championships. You can see 68 through 74, just before the leagues merged. The Rookie of the Year. He dominated in the ABA. 3 championships in the few years that they were in the league, and he was a big man that could also pass the ball as well as score, and everyone loved him.
Yeah, that's why you come to this building, they appreciate good basketball. That's why there were buzz for the Warriors arriving, because not only are the Warriors winning, it's the way they play that are drawing fans. Unselfishness, passing, playing defense, rebounding the ball. A lot of things some of those Pacer championship teams did.
Slick Leonard coaching them to championships, still working on the broadcast with Mark Boyle. He's one of the beloved figures here, despite cheating in golf, by the way, from what I've heard.
And that is off the foot of a Pacer.
Slick would laugh at that if he heard it. Score always didn't add up with him.
You're saying the best club in his bag was an eraser?
He always found a lost ball somehow.
Draymond to beat the shot clock, moving that out. So Steph Curry re-enters with Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Livingston, and Bogut.
The Warriors had to love that shot. No one there to rebound a little deeper than Miles likes. It would have tied the game, or excuse me, gotten them within 10 points of the game.
A foul inside.
So Miles was thinking that, and it may play against him.
Well, you said it first 5 minutes. Just because you're a good three-point shooting team doesn't mean you always have to squeeze off threes. In fact, if I were C.J. Miles and Paul George had just hit that three to make it a 7-0 run,
right,
I might go back to Paul George again.
Because he'd been 0 for 2. Now he's 0 for 3.
Steph Curry halfway down and out.
When he gets a man that's a little bigger than he is, that shot is impossible to stop because it's going to be too quick, stopping, popping. That is old school jump shot.
Where Stuckey's going, and Steph was ready. Picked his pocket. Curry runs to the three-point line, and the long rebound is free and right to Paul George.
They got what they wanted, and Klay set it up beautifully.
And George to the line.
Well, he goes to the line about 6.5 times a game. One of the best in the league at drawing fouls, Paul George.
Klay thought he had good position and played good D. George is so long and large for a small forward. The Holiday hoop packs are back courtesy of Jamba Juice. The Warriors and the Cavs on Christmas Day. Clippers, OKC, several other marquee games at 888-GSW Hoop. Representatives ready to help you right now. My kind of shopping. One phone call and you're done. We'll make it now a 9-0 Indiana run. Warriors had led by 22. That has been cut in half. Klay Thompson three. Klay with 20. Steph Curry, quick hands tonight.
He's getting after it. That's a moving screen. Steph just stole that one.
Main Indiana ball with 8 to shoot.
George Hill did a great job of eluding the big man, little pump fake, but Steph Curry recovered, never gave up on the play. And it's okay to reach in when you're straight in front of him like that. It's not reaching around.
Draymond taking a turn on Paul George. Steph came back for the rebound. Got Iguodala on the wing. Andre went behind the back. Curry three. Yes, sir.
I tell you, you make a pass to someone, then move without the ball because the man that's defending you turns his head to see where the ball's going and he loses sight. That's exactly what Steph orchestrated.
C.J. Miles continues to fire, and this time dropping in the three. Very important 2.5 here. The Warriors have had all the advantages. Draymond bulldogs his way in. They've owned this first half. They don't want Indiana making it 9 or 10
exactly
at the break. George weaving through traffic. And that's an offensive foul. Draymond Green.
Curry is so alert defensively. Steps into the passing lane. And how about this? See George Hill got caught down by the free throw line. He thought Curry had given the ball up, was maybe going to cut through. He had lost sight of him, and Steph Curry knows how to move without the ball.
You said it in the Brooklyn game. This, I'm going to run back on defense. No, run where 30 is. Because he's going to stop at the three-point line many, many times. Keeping him open is a problem. Klay Thompson, what a three! Over Paul George.
Well, you go for a steal as Paul George did. You come up empty-handed, and the great players make you pay for it. Klay did. They've got nothing going here.
Tagging off Monte Ellis.
Well, he's going to get on the board. One way or the other. So you come up with the ball there. Your defender goes for the steal, gives you just a little edge. And coming from your left side, he knows he can get that off with his right hand. So full focus and concentration.
I think Klay Thompson really enjoys DeMar DeRozan, Paul George. Is that Klay, when he sees that opposite off guard being an elite player, he saves his best for those games.
Well, they talk about Paul George being the best two-way player in the league, and I think Klay takes not exception to it, but challenge.
No, that's
the first point for Monte Ellis, by the way, this half.
Paul George has Steph. Klay Thompson, another triple.
Oh my.
So Klay Thompson, 7 threes in the half.
You know, what was it, last game, Philadelphia didn't even get 76 in the game. They've got 76, and you got a minute and a half to go in the half.
Klay Thompson has been incredible.
He's got a game full already.
C.J. Miles again.
Well, he's improved that through the years. All the years in Utah, then over to Cleveland.
Career best, 43% from beyond the arc. Miles has 11. Curry took the bump, didn't get a call. And George Hill headed the other way. And it's going to benefit Steph. Bogut diving to the floor. Klay Thompson again.
Oh, you want to talk about feeding the hot hand? Curry said, yeah, I've got one. Oh, you know what? He's going to make his for sure.
29 in the first half. 8 of 10 on threes. 9 of 11 from the field. Miles one more time, and Bogut with a rebound. How about Andrew Bogut laying out to get that to Curry?
I'm telling you, he's active tonight. We can see that in the first quarter. And Klay Thompson finding nothing but twine. The bottom of the net. That foul down there on Bogut, but they're not over the limit yet.
Steph Curry is a brilliant player, not only for what he can do, but his awareness of the game. He had that ball, and he was looking for Klay in a nanosecond. And Bogut, I think that dive on the floor stretched the back out for sure.
Ooh, yeah, that could be a problem.
Working on him right away. George went for the steal. He got it. He recovers, soars in, and finished. Talk about two-way players. Paul George is elite.
That was just a little challenge by the two best players on the floor.
3-second game shot clock difference. Curry from deep.
In and out.
Got to play 4 seconds of defense. George playing beat the clock, rises for 3. But that'll do it. So for the Warriors, they had the 16-point lead at the end of 1. They pushed it to 22. Indiana came back to make it 11. But it sits at 19 at the break behind Klay Thompson's incredible first half. And he and Steph Curry have been outstanding. Klay alongside Ross.
Klay, 29 points in the first half. Another great first half for you. How are you starting games so well?
Just being focused, taking great shots, not settling. And, my teammates did a great job of setting screens. I was just letting it fly tonight.
And you guys have been doing so well on this road trip. What brings it out of you on the road?
Shoot, that's a great question. Whoever we're playing at, doesn't matter if it's at Oracle or, on the road, we give it 100% effort every night, and it's our depth, man. When our second unit comes in, there's no drop-off like you saw at Brooklyn. They won us the game, and they're playing great again tonight.
All right, thanks, Klay.
Thank you.
Guys.
Klay makes 8 straight to finish the half. The Splash Brothers go for 45. And Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, best backcourt in the league. Greg and the guys are Jack in the Box at the half with the Warriors up 19.
So Indiana wants to drive their pace car a little bit faster this year. Do you really want to get into a run and gun with the Warriors? The 79 first half points is a season high. Welcome in studio. Warriors Halftime Live presented by Jack in the Box. Greg Papa Gary St. Jean. What's the Warriors' record? I forgot. Oh, yeah. It's 22-0. And they had a 22-0 run in the first half, St. Lee. They were down 21-15 with 6.5 to go.
Oh, I love that.
They go 22-0, and at 1:53, they're up 16.
Unreal. I mean, that was an awesome back pick by Clay. And look at this. A little pastry on the glass. He slides it in there. Now there's your point power forward. Oh, by the way, that's a layup for that guy. And he just kind of looks up into the crowd, and for him, too, he only had 29 in the first half. That's the Splash Brothers at their very, very best.
How big of a number for Clay? He's the guy tonight, 29 in the first half.
Awesome.
Do you feed him the ball coming out in the second half to get Klay Thompson going a little bit, Saint? He was 8 of 10 beyond the line. 10 of his 11 shots in the first half were threes, and he made 8 of them. You can't hang with this team. Slow that pace car down, Larry Bird. 79-point opening half. They're on pace for 158. Your key was first team to 100, then you went 120. You going to 160 now?
Yeah, pull it up, get it up higher. This is beautiful to watch. I hope everybody's got the homework done. They've been able to sit down, the kids, and watch this because it isn't going to get any better than this. Second half, though, you got to come out with the mindset that it's 0-0. We got to go back to playing the way we were. It's because of the defense that's getting them out in the open floor.
Steph usually takes over in the third quarter, but let's see if they run a few plays for Clay. Maybe the Clay, come get the ball, and Clay, it's your ball play. Run that one.
But Super up 19 at halftime. Our Jack in the Box at the half. And for the Warriors, it really was the backcourt and big men. Steph and Clay had 45, but Bogut and Ezeli had 14 points, 9 rebounds, and tremendous activity level. I can't decide which was better, the offense or the defense.
Well, no slippage in the second quarter like they did in Brooklyn. So they've taken control of this game. If I'm Indiana and someone said, well, how'd it go for you in the first half against the Warriors? Hey, pretty good. We got 60 points.
Yep.
We made 7 of 16 threes. That's 44%. Oh, but we're down by 19. That's how well the Warriors have played. The bench was terrific. Andre Iguodala's got the best plus-minus of anybody out there. They only turned the ball over 5 times. And how about the center tandem of Bogut and Ezeli?
Well, I think for the Warriors, this was a team effort. And Indiana, you want to run with the Warriors? Well, you're going to get Klay Thompson hitting a bunch of threes. And that in transition was so much fun to watch. You were a very good shooter, Jim. You played this game a long time. You watched it longer. We marvel at the way this guy can shoot.
Well, he's just taken it to a whole nother level himself. So quick in his hands and out of his hands. He's so upright. He gets balance. And just like Stephen Curry, both of these players focus and concentrate on the basket. They are not even bothered at all by a defender lurking nearby.
Our KFC bucket chart, you say, wow, 8 of 10 on threes in a half. Well, remember, Clay was 9 of 9 on threes in a quarter. So there's hot, and then it's just ridiculous.
Well, this display of offensive firepower tonight, and between them, they're 11 of 19 from threes, the Splash Brothers.
Did not slow down at all in the second quarter, shooting the ball. The assist to turnover, marvelous. And the bench, outstanding. They expanded the lead.
Well, Festus Ezeli, he's got 8 points. Bogut has 6. They've got 9 rebounds between them. I love the 19 assists because they had just dropped below 29 assists. Their goal is to get 30 a night this year.
The work only halfway done, up 19 with the third quarter on the way. And ready to start the second half with the Warrior lead at 9. Bob Fitzgerald, Jim Barnett, Roz Gold on Wood-A with you. Our Geico Advanced Analytics, the leading scorers in the third quarter in the NBA. Steph and Paul George are number 1 and number 2 after halftime for the season.
But there's a little disparity there. We're talking about a little more than 3 points in that quarter.
Probably wondering that 79, that's the highest scoring half for any team in the entire NBA this year. First or second half.
And you get that many possessions and you only turn the ball over 5 times. That is improvement.
Perfect.
Steve Kerr has to be very happy watching that.
Monte Ellis.
His first goal.
First field goal to begin the second half. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. Brandon Rush, Draymond Green, Andrew Bogut.
All right, set your tone here the first 3 minutes. Tell them that you mean business, and that's not the way to do it.
One-hand cross-court pass and 4 quick by the Pacers.
That's just studying tape, okay? That's studying tape and knowing exactly what they're setting up on that play. Paul George has stepped right into the passing lane easily.
And early in his career, Paul George was a tremendous defender. Now he's just added the superior offensive firepower. Draymond lob. Now Bogut had a conversation with Luke Walton right in front of us.
Yes.
And Luke said, I'm going to start you, but if you can't go or you're scuffling a little bit, wave at me, I'll get you out. Because it's a long season, and you know, he dove on the floor, and the back obviously was bothering him. When it spasms like that, Luke's not going to push it.
He walks like he has to be. It's a little gingerly for him, but he sure looked pretty good on that floating downdraft a moment ago as he knocked it down.
Klay Thompson, as Miles went for the steal, and
how about that? Another assist. Thompson passes it up.
well, what they're doing is they're allowing Bogut to stretch his back out, Jim. They're going to throw him lobs, and you know, get stretched out to begin the second
You know what?
half.
That's a nice drill.
Yeah, it is a good drill. It's resulted in 4 points. Mahimi throwing it away. Frank Vogel has Indiana playing good defense, but you wouldn't know it the way the Warriors are shooting the ball. Clay can't believe that didn't go in.
No, he didn't. He started running back because he thought it was down. It was just about an inch short. It was dead on.
Paul George.
Well, he knew how to use that screen. Go away from the screen, come back to the screen. You'll lose your man every time if you do it properly. And he comes off those screens very close with his shoulder to his man.
Steph Curry and Bogut hammered that one.
The drill continues.
Well, you really got to get stretched out. The first, second, third time, just get loose.
3 dunks already.
Wow.
2.5 minutes.
Bogut's got a dozen. CJ Miles down the lane. Ball batted over to George Hill. He was out of bounds. So Monte Ellis and George Hill, Paul George, CJ Miles, and Jan Mahimi. Indiana's 9th in points allowed, though. You know, they're a quality defensive team. They're 11th in field goal percentage defense.
Well, you said something in the first half. They're just a little shell-shocked because the Warriors meet that kind of intensity. They love this challenge.
Curry backdoor. Mahimi will pull the rebound.
That was almost too easy for Stephen. He didn't know whether I'm going to go off the board or I'm going to go straight to the rim.
George. How about Mahimi being sent away at the top? Klay Thompson losing it out of bounds. You have to honor all that perimeter shooting. And
number 1. This may have been the third.
This was the highest one.
Dribble penetration. Someone has to pick you up. Leaves the big man open. That's an offensive foul.
And that's the call.
Yep, for Monte, nowhere to go there. Very late whistle. Bogut's there for an eternity. Warriors need, they want to get into their offensive rhythm.
It was a pass that Bogut came down and just caught.
Ooh, that was a pretty good little flopper there.
Paul George. Luke Walton's face says it all.
Yep. He started falling before there was much contact. There was contact, but I don't believe it was enough to put him down, but they're not going to worry about it. It goes both ways.
Paul George losing the handle. Outlet to Klay. Got around Monte. It was goaltended anyway. Klay Thompson's got 31.
Defense, once again, I mean, this team just thrives on their defensive effort, and it just springs them into the front court.
Warriors shooting 63%, limiting Indiana to 43%. Mahimi deep position, and Bogut got the ball, but he's not happy with that call at all.
Well, he got the ball clean. Did he pull with his left arm down a little? No. You know what? That is excellent defense.
Players miss shots and officials miss calls.
I believe JT Orr thought he pulled with his left hand, but he got it out of the way in time.
So Ian Mahinmi, the Frenchman, played extensively with Dallas. Finding a home here in Indiana, dropping in the free throw. Hardwood Classic nights. Warriors wearing these very same Retro City jerseys. You can get these for Christmas. There's shipping on orders over $50 at Warriors.com. All the Hardwood Classic apparel. For my money, best jersey in basketball.
Did Mahinmi just hit his 2 free throws?
He did.
44%.
Yes, he did.
Made him pay.
Paul George, another steal. Setting up C.J. Miles. You see how quickly Indiana strikes when they play defense and why they lead the league in that points-off turnover category.
Well, when you turn the ball over in front of the three-point line, it's pretty easy pickings.
Raymond missing. Saved. I don't know why Indiana ended up touching that. They gave the Warriors a free possession. He's going out of bounds off the Dubs.
Put another rebound in your stat file.
Also, too, you'd never save the ball under your own basket. It's a disaster. Hill trying to stay with Steph. Shot clock at 15. Bogut, a laser pass that Brandon Rush couldn't catch. Now 5 turnovers in the quarter. The only thing short-circuiting the Warriors a little bit. Shot clock at 7. At 5, George Hill's got to work. Jumper short. Bogut another rebound. And Clay, the beneficiary.
Clay just blocked off beautifully, so ball came right back to him.
Corner 3. And Brandon Rush dropping it down.
Favorite spot there in the corner. No one around him. He's going to shoot that with some confidence.
You know, the Harrison Barnes injury has hurt the Warriors in certain areas,
yes,
but
it has.
It's allowed Brandon Rush to play enough that this confidence will be there.
He'll knock down that open 3. Where it hurts him is here, defensively. Harrison Barnes is a terrific team defender, particularly with that. But they got away with it. No. I love Harrison Barnes, Andre Iguodala, and Draymond Green. When they go to that small lineup, they are demons on defense. This was almost as if he said, you know what? I'm going to waste one here. I don't know.
6:16 remaining in the third. Indiana will take time. 19-point lead at the half. It's at 20 right now. It sounds like a lot is going on in the winter meetings. The latest being reported is that Ben Zobrist is going to the Cubs. And are the Giants going to get their left fielder? It's going to be Alex Gordon, or going to be Cespedes? They're going to get another starter. And Billy Bean's always working on something, so that'll be fun on Sportsnet Central after the game. Find out what's going on. Baseball's hot stove. Warrior lead at 20. If you're just getting home from work, it was Klay Thompson just being incredible in the first half with 29, 8 made threes. Steph Curry had 16, and Bogut and Ezeli had 14 and 9 at the center spot. Iguodala commits the foul there. Warriors built a 19-point lead at the half, and they really just kind of traded buckets here in the third.
Well, both teams in the third in a giving mood. 4 turnovers for the Warriors, 4 turnovers also, 6 turnovers for the Warriors, 4 for Indiana. A little sloppy play, and Steph Curry has not scored in this quarter yet. And by the way, that was pretty good defense by Iguodala. He's on the side. He was vertical. But remember how he got out of it in Utah when he got a couple quick fouls, got the technical? He just didn't let that one bother him. I mean, he knew it wasn't really it was a questionable call, but he's going to stay on and play. He's just been terrific tonight.
Klay Thompson, another 3.
When you have that dribble live in your hand and you go down, you're a threat to go to the basket, and it freezes your defender, and he just goes right up.
Paul George misfiring.
I'm such a believer in triple threat position when you can. And why would they lay off Klay?
All right, I'll tell you what's happening here. Klay's got 10 threes, Jim. If he plays long enough, he's going to break the record for threes in a game. The record is 12 by Kobe Bryant and Daniel Marshall. The way Klay is shooting threes, he has a chance to break that record tonight.
And he made 9 in one quarter against Sacramento. What the heck was he doing in the other quarters?
That's kind of a heat check. George blocked it. And out of bounds, the Warriors lose it. We check in with Roz.
Guys, after the halftime interview with Klay Thompson, he told me he wasn't settling with just 29 points and 8 threes at half. He wanted even more.
Well, he's got 37, and he's got 10 threes.
I don't know anybody that ever would be satisfied when you get close to 30 and a half. You're going to say, I wonder if I can get 50 tonight. That's what you do if you're a player.
Amy down the lane. Iguodala with the rebound. Iguodala goes around Monte, and that should be a blocking foul. It is.
And he regrets that he did not throw the ball at the basket to get him to the line because he passed it back, so it will be non-shooting. That clearly was going to be a blocking foul.
But with 4:44 left in the third, Luke has not played the starters in the fourth as the Warriors are up big, but you can see history tonight. The way Klay is shooting, 2 more threes.
Oh, sure.
He could get that done. Draymond, and there's Bogut on the glass.
I'm telling you, this is as active as I've seen him all year.
14 and 9 for Bogut.
At both ends of the floor, he's doing a lot of things. We saw him in that first half, as you pointed out, diving to the floor. Made Paul George give the ball up.
I'll tell you, Ellis rattling it out. Bogut.
Ellis, just tough shooting night. Seems to me, even in Dallas, he had a tough time shooting against the Warriors.
Thompson turning and firing it in for 39. 13 of 17, 10 of 13 on threes, 39 in 27 minutes. Bogut sending Hill away. Will remain Indiana ball.
Andrew's going to get a rest.
A double-double for Bogut with 14 and 10. Zealy tags him out.
And he goes down to stretch it out, but I'll tell you what, if he can continue to play like that and through any kind of pain or discomfort that he has, I'll take it.
The Warriors have silenced this building. Iguodala knocking that away. Steph Curry in a foot race, reversing it up and in. Frank Vogel's got to stop it.
It's gotten out of hand here for him. They are absolutely mesmerized by this dazzling performance.
An opportunity to tie Miami with the 27th win in a row and the second longest streak in NBA history. And I'll tell you what, all the talk pregame about how good Indiana is, how good they are at home, how much firepower they have. 2 best three-point shooting teams. Western Conference Player of the Year, or the month, excuse me, in Steph Curry. Eastern Conference Player of the Month in Paul George. I think it got the Warriors' attention. They heard the chatter, and they have responded. And Luke Walton said, this team likes the spotlight. They know when the pressure's on, and they've been amazing.
And they know all about the record, and they're not denying it, and they want to make the record. That is in the back of their mind. They're determined to do so.
Right now, you said at the top of the telecast, can you play 4 quarters like you did in Brooklyn?
Yes.
Great first quarter, great second quarter, great third quarter. They're on the verge of putting a complete game together.
Well, what happened in this quarter? They've had, what, maybe 5, 6, 7 turnovers, somewhere in that vicinity. But their offense hasn't wavered. Their offense has still been good, and they're continuing to score. And their defense, again, has been superb. I mean, they've only allowed 14 points in this quarter.
George is shoved off there. That's an offensive foul. Paul George, Draymond Green playing exceptional defense.
You can just see all the guys in yellow on the defense for the Warriors just converging in and giving help. They help, and then they don't stand. They help and recover back to where they should be. Great pursuit all the time.
Klay Thompson just rimmed it out. for his 11th three. That is the Warrior franchise record. Clay and Steph have 11. NBA record is 12 in a game.
Well, it's only fitting that one of the two should have it right now. Clay or Stephen. I don't think anybody would argue that.
You know what we have not had to mention tonight? This is the third game in 4 nights for the Warriors on the road.
Yeah, and third game in 4 nights for Indiana as well.
Field goal and the foul. 2:38 remaining in the third. The best team in basketball has been as good as advertised.
Warriors up big on the Pacers. Stephen Curry is leading the league in scoring, and he makes over 5 threes a game, which puts him on pace to make over 400, which would completely smash the current record of 286, which was set by Stephen Curry. So I spoke with Steph about other great shooters before him, 2 that are tied to the Indiana Pacers, team president Larry Bird and then Reggie Miller. He said he was a fan of Bird and watched his highlights, but he said growing up, he watched Reggie Miller a lot. Every time he played, he made a point to watch. He saw how Reggie moved without the ball and used screens to deceive the defense. Steph said, for the 2 guard in me, Reggie Miller was the model.
Well, Reggie and Steph just play 2 positions differently. And that is not Reggie and Steph, just to be factually correct.
Very good.
I mean, Steph Curry, obviously a point guard, Reggie Miller at the off guard. And I think Reggie Miller's in that Steve Kerr and Kyle Korver catch and shoot great 3-point shooters, where Steph is the first Steve Nash type mobile create your own 3-point shot. And it's just a different apples and oranges.
Well, yes,
primarily. And then distance-wise, nobody's ever shot it from further away than Steph Curry.
Yeah, Reggie was terrific coming off the screens. They put him down to the baseline. He'd either come out on the left or the right side. But I tell you what, when you score over 20,000 points, you've done something really right.
Oh,
in this
no.
league.
I mean, you're talking about,
of course.
You know, but he is redefining the game and how threes are taken and made. The lob to Sealy, perfectly thrown by Clay. Jim, and they're jumping at Klay Thompson at the 3-point line. I wonder why.
Exactly. Well, these guys are just remarkable. And Curry leads the league in points and field goals and field goals attempted, made 3-pointers attempted, all the way to true shooting percentage, win shares, plus minus, everything.
Paul George misfiring there. Klay Thompson the rebound.
But you have to wonder, will Steph play in the 4th quarter? Will Clay? And that's one of the reasons they were trying to set Clay up for that 3-point record. And by the way, at the timeout, he was just shaking his head. You know, he might make 80%, but it wasn't good enough for him. Now he shouldn't have missed that one.
Sealy missing there. And to answer your question, neither one of them should play in the 4th quarter. When you're leading by 30,
I understand.
And there's no reason.
That's why Clay wanted to, and Stephen was feeding him. That's why he wanted to get that record in the 3rd. He still may be thinking of it. I don't know.
Sealy. Oh, we had Clay right there.
That was the one.
And he made the 3. It was a foul first.
That was the one. Clay trailing. And that's going to be it. Here comes Sean Livingston.
So Klay Thompson in 30 minutes, 39 points, 10 threes, and only the score of the game will prohibit him an opportunity to set the record for threes in a game. Curry through all the defense, and Ezeli reading right with him. The dive cut.
You want to break down tape? This, you can see on Frank on how to move the ball. And I'll tell you right now, Frank Vogel, he may not even show this to them. It might be too dispiriting.
Steph Curry from deep. Rebound taken by Paul George. I'm impressed with how easily Paul George is shooting threes. He's got 27, 4 of 9 from distance.
Well, he's a player.
Well, you know, they listed.
I'm happy for him because coming off that horrific injury.
They list him at 6'9", 230. He is a perfect wing player. Already seen the good defense and some steals. Steph with a step-back jumper. That will do it for the third. The Warriors got off to the great start, led by 16. Pushed it to 19. 111-83 heading into the fourth. Our Toyota game summary. You're just joining us. You've missed an offensive barrage. Klay Thompson made 8 threes in the first half. He's got 39 in 30 minutes. Steph Curry's got 23 in 30. The Warriors are 14 of 28 on threes. And they have shot at a clip that's hard to believe. 62% for the game, but each and every quarter. 16 of 26, 14 of 22, 14 of 23. 60% in every quarter.
Well, they're getting easy baskets inside. All the dunks we saw by Andrew Bogut, 3 of them very early in the third quarter. And this is where Indiana, I think Frank Vogel's going to talk to his club about defense, and I'll tell you why we get a little stoppage.
Budinger saved the turnover there after they got the stop. Chase with the trail 3.
They have not allowed more than 112 points a game in any of their first 17 games. Against Utah, they allowed 122. That's an overtime, but 123 the game before that at Portland. And then tonight, what it's going to end up. So that's where the last 3 games, over 120 in each game. If you would think that the Warriors are going to get to 120, and I would believe that they will.
Jordan Hill on the foul. Azili with Brandon Rush, Sean Livingston, Ian Clark, and Iguodala. Jordan Hill, Solomon Hill, with Monte Ellis, Stuckey, and Budinger. Frank Vogel's been very nice to him. We have not seen George Hill, Jordan Hill, and Solomon Hill all the game at the same time.
That would be what in the Sam Hill is happening.
You'd be wondering if Grant Hill became a coach and Calvin Hill became part owner. The Christmas Day Whiteout. Brought to you by Clorox when the Warriors take on the Cavaliers at 888 GSW Hoop. The ugly Christmas sweater t-shirt. All right, I'll buy it. That will be the Cavs and the Warriors on Christmas. Both free throws knocked down.
Ball security. Let's see how they do that in this quarter. Get the shots on.
Clark nearly lost it. Estes recognized the shot clock was at 5. Brandon Rush tipping it in.
Terrific. His first rebound of the game. It's a nice little follow.
Budinger dribbling around and finally flipping it in.
Luke Walton will ask them to play some defense. He does not want to just trade baskets.
Iguodala, good find. Ian Clark missing that 3. Azili batted it, but touched it last.
Coming in tonight, Ian Clark, 11 of 22. He's shooting 50% on the year from 3.
I think that's hidden behind Stephen Clay's exploits. Ian Clark, Brandon Rush, Andre Iguodala, even Draymond Green. The Warriors are the #1 3-point shooting team because a lot of their ancillary players are shooting a super high percentage from distance.
Okay, so far the Warriors in this quarter outscored 7-2. We don't want to see this game get down to even 15.
Talk about a guy who can score a bunch in a hurry. Monte Ellis dropping in the jumper. Brandon Rush, nice pump fake. Missing the 3. Long rebound, the fresh 24. size, but Monte played pretty good defense.
Took away the shot.
That three goes in. You may see Luke stop it.
He's got 3 free throws.
Brandon Rush fouls him. Not a wonderful first 3 minutes.
Fouls called on Brandon Rush. That's his first. That's the third Golden State. Chase Budinger at the line with 3 shots.
Look at the Arizona guys in the building tonight. And Budinger being one of them. Jordan Hill, Solomon Hill, Steve Kerr. I'm counting him as an honorary Arizona guys. I know
Sure.
Steve's watching. With Luke Walton, Andre Iguodala, Bruce Frazier. The Wildcats very well represented. The Warriors will use a timeout with 9:13 remaining in the ball game. Up 113-94, but 9 minutes, a long time in an NBA game. While the Warriors don't want this game to become a close game, Steph Curry has been clutch in each and every road game. The game-winning 3 at Utah to begin the trip. The third quarter in Charlotte where he had 28, including the final 24.
That's when the game was close. He scored 24 straight points for his club.
In Toronto, he just had another 40-pointer.
Yeah, he had 3 threes in the last quarter, and they needed all of them.
The deciding third quarter in Brooklyn, where he had 16.
He's delivered on every front in all 4 of those games, Bob.
I like that. The most go-ahead baskets. Blake, Paul George, and Steph Curry.
That's surprising to me. I would think it'd be Curry in this in a runaway.
Well, the Warriors don't get behind very often.
Oh, that's right. He doesn't play fourth quarters. There you go. There you go.
Clark with a runner. And Ezeli was fouled, trying to tip that home.
That will be a controlled tip. He had both hands on it.
Warriors led this game by 32 points. And led by 28 heading into the fourth. What's interesting after 3 games in 4 nights is they're going to get a couple days off before Boston Friday, Milwaukee Saturday, and the end of the trip, and they will need those days. Festus missing the first free throw.
C.J. Miles back to the game for your Pacers.
Paul George had 27, but spent a lot of time on Klay Thompson. And Klay was just dominant tonight with 39. Ezeli missing both free throws. This game may get down to 15 or 13, Jim. The Warriors are just not scoring, and Indiana's got a lot of firepower. Monte missing that three. More up to the Warrior defense to not let the Pacers get any momentum. No Barbosa tonight, no Harrison Barnes, and you could use Leandro in a game like this. And Livingston, that's a big basket. Steady the ship. They had 2 points in 4 minutes, did the Warriors in the fourth. That kind of defense, Jordan Hill.
No resistance.
Waltzing down the lane. I want to see that no matter what the score is. Run a post ISO. Monte on Ian Clark.
Can't make up your mind what you're going to do before the defense comes.
Brandon Rush.
Hey, you forget Brandon Rush spent his first 3 years as an Indiana Pacer.
He was drafted by the Pacers.
Drafted by the Blazers and
Blazers
traded.
and traded.
Never played for Portland. You don't remember that early days days of Utah, huh?
I remember him in his high school not doing that either. Brandon Rush again. And another three, and we check in with Roz.
Perfect timing, because at shoot-around, Brandon Rush told me that he's looking to get more shot attempts. And that's coming from Luke Walton, who's encouraging him. And also Draymond Green has been telling him, shoot the ball, shoot the ball. Don't get the trigger jitters.
Well, for a guy who made only 3 threes all of last year, to be making it at 52% from distance, they said it's the only positive that's come out of the Harrison Barnes injury. Brandon would not have played. He would have had limited or no minutes.
Yep.
And this has developed some confidence.
Heck of a screen by Ezeli. Secondary move. What, call 3 seconds?
I don't think Festus get out of the lane.
No, and the thing is, when Harrison Barnes comes back, his minutes, Brandon Rush looking at him, they're going to diminish.
Absolutely.
Considerably. But
when
they need
called
to be ready.
upon, he'll be ready. That's right.
They may need him again.
And you think about even in games like this, and the Warriors are going to have a bunch more blowouts, you don't want to put Clay back in, or Steph, or Harrison, or Draymond, and others, and so the reserves have to play well.
I don't want to be a doubting Thomas, but they're not out of the woods here. You got 6 minutes to go, and it's a 19-point game. And your opposition has the ball. I mean, these are NBA players.
C.J. Miles hitting a three.
And now it's a 16-point game. They're not getting good shots because they're not getting stops. There's a good shot.
Brandon Rush missing that three. Ezeli working on the glass. Got Brandon the ball back. A met up top by Solomon Hill and off of the Warriors. So 5:49 the timeout. Does Luke Walton have to sub anyone in the next minute or two? Warriors heading out to Boston. Couple days off before they finish off this road trip. Boston and Milwaukee. Warrior pregame live will come your way at 3:30. We'll tip it at 4:30. Get to see David Lee and the Celtics. Isaiah Thomas has played exceedingly well. Then the Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo before a couple days off, and finally back at home against the Phoenix Suns.
Take care of business one at a time. In this quarter, Bob, Warriors outscored 22-10. They've allowed 7 of 9 shooting from Indiana, which includes 3 of 4 from three-point range, and all 5 of their free throws. And look what we have here.
Well, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson come back in with Draymond Green. And Luke Walton has seen and played in enough NBA games to say, now I'm going to make sure it doesn't happen. Paul George.
He loves the top of that circle, doesn't he?
You're looking at a 13-point game. After being up 32. It's a small lineup with Draymond at center. Draymond down the lane.
Terrific play. That's such a power move there. Finishing with the left. 2 defenders. Got it up quickly but strongly.
C.J. Miles ticked iron, but Jordan Hill got the freebie.
He's their best offensive rebounder. That's what I said before the game. About 35 to 40% of his rebounds come via that route.
Draymond, the decision maker. And that one curling out. Iguodala sending Steph on his way.
Steph thought about it.
They turn it over. Did not use clock, did not get a shot. And George 3. Fortunate.
Yep, a turnover and a missed 3. Very fortunate.
Klay Thompson. Off front iron. Klay knocking that out of bounds.
Well, no fans are leaving, that's for sure.
Well, the starters, I guarantee, after sitting 7 minutes. We're probably not expecting to come back in the game.
No, they were not.
Considering they began the fourth with a 28-point lead. But you credit Indiana and just the way they can score. Pacers winning this fourth quarter by 15 right now. And Monte right to the rim. From 32 to 11. And now, the crowd has been dormant all night. Starting to sense it a little bit. Steph Curry says, sit on down.
Well, we showed you what he's done on the road trip so far, and I said, you may have to call upon him again.
C.J. Miles blocked by Draymond. Buttinger can't tip it, still loose, and Miles comes away with it. George down the lane. The small lineup, there's not a shot blocker other than Draymond. Paul George working relentlessly.
Well, the Warriors are playing the clock here, and that's a dangerous thing to do. You're kind of caught betwixt and between. Do I take quick shots? What do I do? But that's a lot of time.
Steph Curry for three. Draymond tipping it in.
He's been big.
Draymond Green, 7 rebounds to go with his 8 points. And Iguodala, what Monte Ellis was doing there.
I'd say keep attacking right there. They have the numbers. That's their game. That's almost a backcourt violation.
Draymond Green missing. Draymond diving to the deck. Paul George comes out of it. Frank Vogel's going to use the timeout. 2:37 remaining.
Well, Draymond Green and Stephen Curry.
It was Steph with the crowd rising. He silenced them. And when you need a big offensive rebound, Draymond Green was on the glass. Our Ram shots of the game. The Warriors feeding the big man tonight. Andrew Bogut with a double-double. And lob after lob after lob. And this one, little back scratcher with the right hand. Rams shots of the game, and Bogut and Ezeli, 26 and 15.
I like it.
In 41 minutes. That's very good center productivity.
Oh, they missed 4 shots though. 12 of 16.
Yeah, well, you know what? People talk about the Warriors going small. Is there a better center tandem in the league?
That's pretty effective.
Your centers are rolling out 26 and 15. You're going to be fine.
And you know what I'm saying Ezeli do? Tonight, I thought his hands were terrific. You know, no fumbles, whatever, didn't miss the dunks. And he's handling the ball a little more out front, initiating offense. It's all about defense here. Each possession.
Double Paul George. Monte, good awareness in Solomon Hill.
You never want to leave the man that's closest to the basket, and they did so. Because you don't want to give up a 3, so you're caught both ways.
Klay Thompson, corner 3. He's had chances to tie that Warrior record and get to the NBA record, but missing there. Monte Ellis, halfway down and out. Would have made it a single-digit ball game after the Warriors leading by 32, but more importantly, 28 heading into the fourth. Steph Curry off balance.
He can't get a call. He cannot get a call.
Hill right back the other way.
I tell you, Luke Walton doesn't like it. Stephen Curry doesn't like it on that last one.
They double him. That means Draymond's going to make decisions. Klay Thompson with it being batted out of bounds. Warrior ball. Jason Phillips going to talk to Mark Ayotte, and they may go to replay on this just to confirm. 18-6.
I thought it was pretty clear. There it is.
C.J. Miles appeared to bat that out of bounds. Iguodala touched it first, and then
C.J. controlled it out.
Should be a very short free play. We had in Brooklyn, it was beautiful. They went to Secaucus, and Kenny Maurer had it right back in the game resuming.
Clay's missed all three shots he's taken since he's re-entered the ball game here. He's still stuck at 39. And that's like you say, you get off that bench and you're cold.
Well, it's also just the mental.
Steph is one, Curry is one of three, that jumper that he made.
Yeah, I mean, starters sit up 28 heading into the fourth. They're not thinking they're coming back in the game. Minute 18 with a fresh 24. Correctly called Warrior ball.
You'd like to get one more basket because right now it's a three-possession game and there's a turnover.
There's a steal. With the 9-point lead, Pacers need to look for threes.
And quickly. They wasted time there.
Paul George going to shoot that three.
You need to run him off the line.
Solomon Hill, good rebound, and he was fouled.
I'm surprised. You just don't crowd Paul George here. You know he's looking for a three and let him dribble by you into the two-point range. You've got to run him off the three-point line.
Only the first foul in the last 2 minutes. It's not free throws. Buttinger will take a two, get his own rebound, draw a foul, and flip it in.
Oh, my.
And now Klay Thompson hurt himself on that play, too.
Oh, gee.
Klay Thompson is limping.
He's got to come out. This is the worst scenario. It may be his toe, not an ankle. I don't know. It doesn't feel good.
He is in some discomfort there. Buttinger missing the free throw. Ball still loose. Solomon Hill again. C.J. Miles three. And Steph Curry is fouled finally.
Let's watch Clay's right foot. Oh, that is an ankle. Pardon me. Oh, my. Almost the same way that we saw Harrison Barnes do it.
Yep.
Except this time he came down on his own man's foot. And it's hurting. Well, shouldn't have ever culminated in putting him back in. That's very disappointing. That's very disappointing.
Curry down the lane and rimming it in.
Well, that'll do it, but they paid a terrific price if Klay Thompson can't play.
Solomon Hill.
Yeah, he bangs it around, doesn't he? Gee, money, Christmas.
What is going on here? First of all, you missed the most blatant offensive foul call of the night on Solomon Hill on Draymond. Now you're bouncing Steph Curry to the ground, and Klay's got to go to the bench. But Draymond Green is upset because he's saying, look, all right, we're winning, but what's going on here?
Klay Thompson limping, but walking on his own power, which Harrison Barnes could not do in Phoenix.
And Draymond's going to get that a tee now.
Hey, it's too close to do that. The score is too close to do this.
I mean, Draymond is right, but you got to think about the game itself. And that gives us no angle. He completely shoved Draymond in the chest and face to clear out. We had the best look at it, as did the Warrior bench. Monte was not, he had no intent on.
No.
It was a collision.
Steph didn't know he was going to be there.
Yeah, no, I mean, Monte Ellis didn't do anything untoward on that play at all. But Solomon Hill cleared out with the free arm. It was a very obvious missed call. Draymond very fired up.
Yeah, the way Steph Curry plays, only his third and fourth free throws of the night. And like Brooklyn, where he missed 3, he misses.
Now it's a Warrior team that mentally kind of checked out after the 28-point lead heading into the fourth. It's understandable. It's human nature. It cost them 1 injury in a game that got cosmetically close. 7-point lead with 24.8 left. But the bigger issue is, how is Klay Thompson's ankle, since you've already lost Harrison Barnes? (23-9) Indiana push here in the fourth quarter. And Klay Thompson going out with an ankle injury on the heels of Harrison Barnes not playing at all on this road trip with an ankle injury. And for the Warriors, the 28-point lead and tying Miami with the 27th win in a row with the second longest streak in NBA history. They're going to take a back seat for just a missed opportunity in the fourth for the reserves just to trade baskets and win this game comfortably. Monte throwing that away. Shot clock off. No need to shoot. No need to foul, really, but that will add to the final score.
This kind of leaves a little bitter taste in your mouth. The win.
Well, it does. I mean, you're not going to do everything perfectly. And the bench let the team down. And that bench without Barbosa, he would have been perfect up 28. I mean, you can't keep playing. And Curry misses another free throw. It's kind of amazing. So the Honda post-game live will get you the latest information on Klay Thompson as soon as the Warriors release some of that. Steph is 3 of 5 from the line.
He's in danger of going under 90% on the year.
Dropping the second one in. Frank Vogel going to coach it out to the end. There are no 8-point plays in the NBA. Eight-point lead, 17 seconds left. Warriors, as we mentioned, going to get a couple days off. And Boston and Milwaukee will finish off this 7-game road trip. And then 5 home games in 16 days.
Yep, they need that rest.
All at Oracle. After 9 games in 16 days with 8 on the road, it'll be 5 games in 16 days and all at home.
You hope it doesn't extend that long, but could be time for players to get a little more healthy.
Harrison Barnes will be reevaluated when the Warriors get back from the trip. Paul George, air ball 3. And I don't think Indiana needs to foul again, but they already did once. And Steph Curry is going to use the timeout. So it'll be a 20-second timeout.
But you can't advance the ball to half court because he was already dribbling.
Right.
So he was worried about an 8-second violation in the back court.
No, you always learn lessons in games. This will be a learned lesson in a victory. And what the coaches are going to say is, all right, 20 in the fourth isn't a problem. Allowing 40 in the fourth is a problem.
Yes.
Is that no matter what we're doing shooting the ball, there's no reason that for the Warriors to not play the kind of defense, starters or reserves, that they're capable of. And what penalty did you pay? You may have lost a starter to an ankle injury who should never have had to come back in the game.
Right. It's as simple as that.
And that will be a very sobering lesson for all the guys not named: Steph, Klay, Harrison, Draymond, and Bogut.
The hottest player on the floor tonight, Klay Thompson, has to exit. And it may cost him more than just the rest of this game.
Got it it into Livingston.
Got to get it across, and they did.
And that will do it. So 23-0 and 27 in a row. Tying the second longest streak in NBA history, equaling the Miami Heat. No teams ever started 13-0 on the road until the Warriors. And they win it 131 to 123. They may have lost Klay Thompson in the process. Lots to talk about. A Warrior postgame live presented by Honda. Coming at you right now.
Well, the Warriors continue the best start in the history of American sport. They are 23-0. They've tied an NBA record for consecutive wins, but we're a little down about the Klay Thompson injury. Let's go back to Indianapolis. Roz with Andrew Bogut, who had 14 points tonight. Roz.
Andrew, you guys had a 28-point lead in the fourth quarter. How challenging is it to keep the intensity through that?
Look, I mean, it's a lot of different things contributed to us losing the lead. I mean, they're at home, they're knocking down some threes, but, you know, the problem with all this is Klay Thompson had to come back in and now he's rolled his ankle, so hopefully it's not too serious, but, you know, we'll do a better job of finishing him off when we can.
When you got in to start the game, though, you did a great job, double-double, 14 points, 10 rebounds. You looked limber. Can you update us on how your back feels?
It's all right, just a little sore every time I fall on it, but I'll be all right. Something I've dealt with the last couple of weeks. Trying to play through it, missed the game in Toronto, but was out there today, and we've got a couple of days off now to get it right for Boston.
You got a lot of lobs that came from the guards. I know the guards penetrate and draw the defense, but on your end, how do you set up those lobs?
So much attention's on Cliff and Cliff playing Steph. Cliff, that's a new thing for Twitter, I guess, but so much attention is on those two guys, and then when they penetrate, guys are stepping up, and guys don't want to leave the three-point shooters, so it's usually me and Draymond that reap the rewards of getting easy dunks.
And you guys have started 13-0 on the road. That's the most wins in NBA history on the road. Best start on the road in NBA history. Do you feel like when you come into other teams' houses that you're intimidating?
Look, not really. We just try to play our game, our rhythm, and our flow. So if we happen to lose a game soon or whenever it is, we want to lose it on our terms and actually make them beat us rather than beating ourselves. So we're going to keep rolling. We're in a rhythm right now, and hopefully it doesn't end anytime soon.
Thank you for coining the term Clef. I hope it's trending on Twitter.
We'll see what happens. See ya.
Bob?
Well, Klay and Steph, or you want to go Clef, they had 68 between them, the Splash Brothers, and I think Andrew was very candid that the loss of Klay Thompson to the rolled ankle is just something the whole team will feel and talk about in terms of closing games out.
Yeah, you not only want, when you do lose, you want to lose on your terms. You want to win on your terms. They had that when they had the 28-point lead. But unfortunately, just as I said, leaves a little bad taste in your mouth when you suffer through a win that should have been easy all the way through, and you don't know the status of Klay Thompson, who was absolutely brilliant tonight. But the Warriors did a lot of great things out there. The starters had no problem with them whatsoever at both ends of the floor.
Yeah.
Their defense picked up. They moved the ball. They got that spring in their step, and they're now 23-0.
Yeah, you don't want to minimize 3 great quarters against a really good team in their building. The way the Warriors move the ball, the way they hit threes, the way that Ezeli and Bogut played at the center spot, they did so many good things. You don't want the fourth quarter, the lead coming down a little bit to be the storyline. It really wasn't.
And I think both coaches understand Stephen Curry is going to get his. You know that Paul George is going to get his. They did a pretty good job on the rest of the group inside it on Monte Ellis, particularly early. But Klay Thompson was off to just, I mean, he had a stupendous game when he had 39 at the end of 3 quarters.
Yeah, so you're missing Barnes, you're missing Barbosa, and are you missing Klay for Boston? We'll find out, Greg, when you